What is driving the urge to merge in the airline industry? Joining us for this week's Smith Business Close-Up is Mike Ball, Associate Dean for Faculty and Research and Dean's Chair in Management Science at the University of Maryland's Robert H. Smith School of Business. Dr. Ball, thank you for being with us.
You're welcome. It's great to be here.
Glad to have you. People have read about US Airways and American. What are some of the factors that are driving these mega mergers?
Well, this is clearly a trend that's been going on in the industry for several years, and it's driven by really the long-term trend in business models for the airlines, and that is they all want to compete on a national basis, and they all gradually over time are trying to get nationwide footprints so that they can compete on a nationwide basis, and that just brings lots of advantages in terms of customer loyalty, their frequent flyer programs, et cetera.
How should consumers, frequent flyers, occasional flyers view these deals? Do they lessen competition in the airline space?
Well, I think the first thing people say is, oh, there'll be less competition, fares will go up. And, you know, in a few markets, I think that will happen. However, when we see what's going to happen or potentially going to happen with this merger is that we'll have 4 very strong national carriers in the United States. And, you know, that is certainly plenty of competition. I think the industry, rather than always living on the fringe, it's better for the industry to have strong carriers. The service to an individual, for example, if you get disrupted, the carrier will be able to better reaccommodate you. Obviously, there are better things for the frequent flyer programs if you're with a carrier that has a national footprint. And I think as the industry gets stronger, airlines will be able to start thinking about customer service again. You know, they're all been just fighting to stay alive, and it's good to have stronger carriers because they can start thinking about adding new kinds of services and better customer service.
Does it make it harder or easier for somebody to break in with a small startup? I'm thinking of outfits like Spirit, Virgin America that have grown, not all that fast, but seem to have gotten a little bit of footing.
You know, I think historically in this industry, there always have been the smaller carriers, that they always have been able to break in. I don't think that's going to be a big concern. I think as long as there's space at some of these airports, and I think there'll continue to be, I think there'll be room for smaller carriers to break in.
Talk a little about the implementation issues in these big mergers, because you have largely union workforces, I think, and they all have different seniority rules, and you're trying to merge one group of pilots into another group without anybody getting too upset.
Well, it's certainly true that this is a big challenge. And some cases it's been done very well. Some cases it's not done so well. So, you know, you're right. Pilots, in the case of US Airways and American, they're represented by 2 different unions. They have very different sets of rules and policies and procedures. They have different systems they use for their traffic management, et cetera. So it's actually quite challenging to do this. It's quite expensive, but airlines really have to to get on a common ground and a common footing to get the advantages of the merger. So they have to do it. They have to do it well, but it's a big challenge. I think as an example, the Delta Northwest merger has gone very well. United Continental is maybe not quite as good. Actually, US Airways and American West has gone a little more slowly in terms of truly integrating as they'd like. So it is very challenging, but also very important to do well.
All right, Mike Ball joining us from the Smith School of Business. Dr. Ball, thank you for being with us.
Thanks. It's my pleasure.